All right, shake and bake. Let's get to it. Welcome back to Nikki T Live. I'm your host, Nick Taylor, and flying solo again today, working in open source, working on open source. If you're curious about open source, check out the links I just dropped. Doing some feature work today again, and feeling a little better. I still sound a little nasally, so apologies for that if I sound my voice sounds just a little weird today. But definitely on the mend, and got a doctor's appointment today to maybe I'll end up getting some antibiotics or something. Trying to be in 100% game shape for going to Miami next week for we have our offsite, but also it's React Miami, so I definitely want to be 100% in good shape. So, anyways, I digress. Okay, cool. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, let's switch us over to the good old pairing view, which is not pairing view because it's just me, unless well, I guess, you got Copilot there. It's kind of co-work. Co yeah, it's pairing maybe. What's up, Copilot? How you doing? All right, cool. So, yeah, so what are we working on? I've been working on, well, a couple things here. So, let me zoom this bad boy in. There's my awesome teammate Brandon. Used him as the template for this. So uh, this is part of a pull request table feature that I'm working on. But let's take a peek at this. So this just needs another review. But if we come here, you can come see it. Have it in Storybook, and I'll just zoom it in. But basically, it's a different state. So I'll show you where this comes into play after. But we could use this in other places potentially, but it's for my pull request tables feature that I'm working on. And it's mainly to save real estate because before I had like the PR state icon, I had the author, etc. And it just caused for just, you know, you lose real estate very quickly, especially with like a grid. So, anyways, excuse me. And if you've never used Storybook, which it's quite possible, it's a really great tool. Um, Especially if you use their new conventions for writing storybook stories, but you can basically change the states here and you can kind of see what it looks like in those different contexts. So I can say it's closed and then so it was merged, so that's what it looks like, but it wasn't merged in this case, so it's closed. Um, and then there's also, yeah, the draft mode, which is here, and then the good old just open. So this is typically how I build out components. I strongly recommend using a tool like Storybook if you are working in UI. There are others, but I feel like at this point, this one's kind of one in in my opinion. I mean, come at me, Twitter, I guess, if that's not the case, but I I kind of feel like it is. But anyways, it's a great tool regardless, and it's open source. Storybook 8 just dropped. Let me go see here. Uh, I'll drop that in the chat for anybody curious. There's speed improvements, there's all kinds of bug fixes, and okay, so there's built-in visual testing, which probably ties into their paid product, Chromatic. I haven't tried that actually. I still haven't really worked with the app router, so I haven't really done anything with React Server components yet. But they have React Server component support now. I'm guessing there's some kind of decorator in Storybook because like you can have this concept of decorators in Storybook too. You can kind of because like Storybook stories themselves, like at least in the context of React, are components themselves, and you can wrap that story with what's called a decorator. So maybe you have some setup to actually get your story to work. So for example, say you had like a drawer icon that you wanted, not drawer icon, but say you had a drawer component that pops up from the bottom for a mobile experience. You might need a button for that to work. So you could create a decorator with that. That's one example. Um, yeah, what else? Yeah, so they got Vite support, Vitesse testing. So I know you can write tests in Storybook too. I haven't done that myself, but anyways, all a bunch of other things, faster builds, refresh desktop UI, all kinds of things. And I'm trying to remember for Next.js if you have to be on version 14. I think it says you do. Let's see here. Next.js. Okay, no, nothing mentioned there, but anyways, it's cool stuff. If you want to check it out, I'll drop it here. And cool, cool, cool. All right. Uh, I feel like the job market must be healing. I keep getting recruiters contacting me on LinkedIn. That's usually a sign. I know it's been pretty rough out there, so good to see that nature is healing, maybe. All right. So this PR is done. Just see if we can get one more. Just gonna ask in Slack. Da, da, da. Can I get one more hell yeah on this? Okay. Let me just check some things in Slack here. It is co-working, so if anybody happens to be working too, let me know what you're working on. Okay. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Okay, status page. Oh, nice. We added an integration of Slack. We have like just to track, monitor things. So just added some external services status page to keep track of that, which I think is a good thing. Uh, cool. All right, 2 approvals. Let's merge this bad boy. Cool. Oh, I think is okay. We're good. Says it's merged. I think GitHub's having a bit of a. Somebody mentioned GitHub. There was some issues, maybe. Okay, cool. That's done. All right. Now let's bring this over here. Let's zoom in. Let's go to the app, which is what I already have it open. Okay. Boom. Okay, let's see here. I'm on my PRs one. Okay. Let's change to the other branch. Check out PRs. Whoops. Nicotia Online. PRs table. We're gonna do git pull. Get latest from beta. Okay, yeah. I've just gotta. This is what I do. I'm not a Git surgeon all the time, so sometimes, you know what? I just literally do this. I go, you know what? I'm gonna fix my conflicts with what I know is the correct thing, and I'm just gonna copy paste it in, and then boom, there we go. And let's add that and git rebase continue. RC is a shortcut I have for git rebase. And then boom, and then boom, and then same thing again. Boom. Whoops, no, that's not what I want. I want this. Okay. Boom. All right. There we go. It's going to say no changes. Get rebase continue. Okay, successfully rebased. Okay, now let's go look at what this is actually for. Let's go npm run dev. Should keep my eyes on chat. Little quiet on Twitch, but a bit of activity on YouTube, I think. It happens. There's so many people streaming these days. Anyways. I'm doing it anyways, even if you got some of the heavy hitters out there streaming right now. Okay, so we're gonna load this up. And okay, I'm zoomed in here a bit, but let's go here. We're gonna go to the activity page. So this is what I've been working on, and so that icon that I was talking about, that's over here. And so essentially, before I had like, we could maybe go to the old one. Let's go to github.com, pull requests, closed. Okay, yeah. So I had a pull request tables prototype. And this is what it looked like. Not the design. And if we come back to the same thing, this here, not the exact same thing. I should have just taken part of that URL. We don't need all this. Do, 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 do. Okay, we'll let that load up. Just gonna send out. Uh, do, 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 do. Just gonna mention one of our Slacks that I'm streaming. Bit source. If anyone wants to hang. HTTPS T.live. Cool. All right, that's sent. Okay, so you can see here, this is what it looked like before if I zoom in. So essentially, we had the state and the author. So already we're losing some real estate. Um, it still looked okay like this, but we're also gonna have a mobile view of this, and Isa, my product designer, suggested merging the two icons, which I thought was actually a really great idea. So now we have this, and we can see who it is. I should probably add a link to John, or whoever it is, the user. We had this hover avatar hover card, which I can put back, but I think for now I might just do the link. Um, okay, so we got the avatar here, so we can do link. That's not the right link, but let's just do this. Okay. Uh, uh, what is it? Target. Do blank, and then rel equals. Not sure if you. I think I remember reading Wes Boss saying we don't need to do this anymore. Rel no opener, and then there should be. There should be. Actually, let me go to the avatar hover card. There. How do we generate the link right now? Okay, we go to the actual user. Okay, yeah, okay. As user slash dollar contributor. Okay. And then I don't know, I guess we could have the hover card there maybe. Let's see. All right. Well, let's try it out. Sure. Why not? Let's get rid of this. Boom. Okay, that's clearly not going to change, so let's just get rid of it. Let's ice it. Okay. Uh, what's going on? That's a good point, Becca. Okay. I'm kind of all over the place here. I'm reading some Slack stuff just to stay up to date. Um, okay. Let's get back here. So we could do the avatar hover card, but that's good. Yes, property repositories is missing. And let's save that. Okay, now what this means is you're gonna get this hover card here now. There is a z-index issue here, so the reason why this is happening is because as soon as we have this notion of frozen columns, I'm using tan stack table now, so you can do this. And so the table cells and the table headers both have a z-index of 1 amidst a couple other things for making it sticky, aka position sticky. Um, yeah, we do need it, but I do wonder actually, it might even be better actually. Let's do this. Hold on a sec. I'll leave the avatar hover card there. And let's go to the workspaces pull request table. That's what that whole table is there. Just grab a sip here. I got a iced coffee from McDonald's before. It's mainly iced now though because I drank it. I'm gonna add some water to it to prolong the coffee. It's not gonna taste as good now, watered down, but whatever. Staying hydrated too. It's what you gotta do. Okay, so we got the table here, and let me just hide some things here. And okay, that's that. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, that squishes like that. It moves over a little bit when I scroll, but I'm not worried about that right now. I wanted to look at column pinning. Is that it? Pinning. Oh yeah, okay. So there's these column pinning styles, and you can do this. Oh, I already had the width there, so what? Okay, that's an aside. So essentially, it's position sticky if it's pinned so that it doesn't move, and then we set a left value or right value depending on if it's pinned column dot get after right or undefined. Yeah, okay. Is pinned right, is pinned left. Yeah, so we're only pinning left right now, but same idea. Okay. All right. And then, so what I'm thinking is let's try and not do this. And this will fix it. So like all of a sudden you're going to see that comes over now, which is good. And the thing is now if I come back here and I scroll, it's going to go on top of it because it is pinned and they have the same Z index. So that's why that's happening. So what we want to try here is, and I'm just going to keep this to the side for now, and let's see what's going on. So I'm pretty, might be talking out of my butt here, but I'm pretty sure you can do negative Z index. Yeah. When you sign 0 or any other, you're creating a new stacking context. Okay. Z index auto does not create one. This is important because a parent with auto will appear in front of a child with -1, but a parent with 0 will appear behind a child with -1. Okay, basically what I'm going to try is -1. So let's come back here. So actually, so is pinned, we'll just say auto, otherwise, -1. And I'm curious if this will work. So, okay. Let's just put that to 0 then maybe. Uh, okay, no, it's okay, I see. It's setting that the -1 is going really okay. Let's try this. Okay, if it is pinned, it's gonna be above. Yeah, okay. So maybe I have to do something here. So again, it's still hiding. Okay, I think I'll leave this as is and let's just see. Um, so I want this to come above it, obviously. So there's a few things here. The hover card, its container is the body. So I'm wondering if I can get the container to be the actual the field of the state here. So let's see. Where would that be? Okay, so let's go look at the avatar hover card. And there's a root portal, and then is it here? Container. Okay. All right, so let's add an additional container, and then we'll say it's body by default or document.body. So, okay, let's pop that there. That's good, and let's go to the types. Nope, not that type. Go to this one, go to definition. Where's the actual types though? Repositories number. This is weird. The name of this can't be right. Props. Let's try this. Okay, I think that's good. Container HTML element, number, string. That's right. Okay, and we could put this as optional, and then we could say it equals to that. And then if I come over here, I don't need this anymore because I've seen that in multiple places and it just doesn't make sense. Okay, now let's add a container here. So container equals, and what we're gonna do is, yeah, we need it to be the ref. So hold on here. Ref equals container ref. Oops. Container ref. All right. Let's see here. Uh, Actually gonna go to Discord for a second. Who is this? All right. Streaming some open source work if anyone wants to hang. Just edit that. Cool. I found it very hard to find a streaming schedule, to be honest. I stream with the guests on Monday, sometimes Fridays too. Depends on the guest if like in their availability, but um yeah, like I've streamed at like 9:30 in the morning, 10:30 in the morning sometimes, and there's like a bunch of people. Yesterday there was like nobody. today's a bit crickets. I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'm just, it's just I think it's difficult for people to basically find a good time to stream because there's so many people that stream now. Okay. So container dot current container. Okay, yeah. Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Uh, we'll add the hover card, or actually, let's say this container ref dot current. This will definitely exist at some point, so I guess we could say go to definition, and then we could say I'll go back here. Let's come back. Sorry, it's in here. Okay. Whatever. For now, I'm just gonna say TypeScript says it exists. Or we could do, I guess, yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it like that for now. Let's just see. I want to see if this changes anything. It's a bit better, um, but not. I don't think it changed anything, honestly. It's coming above that now. Actually, it is a bit better because if I take this out, you can see right now, if I hover over here, it's coming above my own table cells. So like where John, my coworker John, JPMCB there, you see it hovering over that, which is good, but the ones below it, it hovers over them. Um, or sorry, it hovers below them. So if I take this out just to do a test, and I do it again, see now is it the same? Okay, no, yeah, no, it's already better by changing where the container is. So by putting that, you're gonna see John's full name appear now again. So that's good. I'm wondering why it doesn't go over the other ones because hovering over here, all the cells have a z-index of 1. Oh, maybe if I change the z-index of this, let's see. I don't think this will change anything, but z-10, maybe. We'll see. Okay, yeah, it doesn't change anything. There's a stacking context issue here. So this is also actually a good example of when you're working with z-indexes, like just throw in a whole z-index. Hey, what am I crafting? Hey, Toma. Hey, thanks for hopping on. I'm working on the pull request table feature for OpenSauce. So this is part of our workspaces. It's under the activity tab, and it's a grid of all the pull requests associated to the repositories you have tracked in your workspace. Mm. Excuse me. And tracked repositories, basically what it is this will be a bunch of it's probably typically an organization like for example, like if we come to OpenSauce, oh, I'm in OpenSauce right now. So if we come to the repositories here, or if I just go to edit actually, we can see which repositories that I've decided to track, and they're all our own ones. Well, I've got a few here, but we could have more. And so like, for example, I can come here and I can say import an organization, choose OpenSauce, and then I'm going to get all our repositories, and I'll just say add, and then I'm just going to update this. And so this basically, there's different ways you can do this, but essentially this is all our public repositories. And so then I can come back here, and the activity is in this particular case, and you can see it's updated and it's very recent too. It's like 21 minutes ago. So my coworker Brandon just merged a release because we did a production release very recently. But this is literally all the pull requests for all those tracked repositories. You'll be able to filter on them. So you could say like, I just want the open source app, for example, and you could track that one only in terms of pull requests. I had a filter on before. I took it off temporarily because I had to make some changes, but that'll be coming back. Which reminds me, I should add my list here. So filter repos, uh, sorting by dates. So the other thing is we're also using a new component. Oh yeah, let me share that all with you. Yeah, for sure. So there was this that I was working on that just got merged. That's a icon component that I'm using in this particular thing. And the actual issue I'm working on, or feature I should say, is this one. It's the pull request table feature. And I did a proof of concept last week and closed the PR for that because it's not going to get merged. It was just to do a proof of concept, but that's basically what this is based off of now. And so you have this, we're using tan stack table now. So for example, if I shrink this, I can scroll and you can see how like the state and pull requests, they actually stay static. They move a bit at some point because the table shrinks, I think, but the other ones go under it. Yeah, we're going to be using this for our other tables in the project at some point. This is kind of like the testing ground for it. So anyways, that's what's going on there. And uh, what's this? Cool. Yeah, so that's essentially what I'm working on. Yeah, the I did a stream with uh, Kevin Thomas Van Scott, who is one of the maintainers of TanStack Table. Super helpful to get me up and set up with this, and I've been tweaking stuff since then, but it's pretty neat. There's like, for example, we come to here, I can kind of show you, type string is, yeah, okay, yeah, hold on a sec. As open or close are actually, that should actually be, go to definition. This should actually be open or closed. Let's change that. Okay. Mergeable state, open, close. Okay, let's save that. Let's close that. That's good there. Okay. Is drive. Let me just commit that small change. All right, let's do this. Gchore updated types for PR state. Or actually, I'll be more specific. Yeah, cool. Let's push that up. Oh, got a few folks in the chat now. Where did everybody come from? I should check the Twitch chat. Not sure where y'all came from on Twitch, but hello and hope you're doing well today. Cool. All right, so just fix that type there. But yeah, what I wanted to show you, Tomo, is so this is using TanStack table now, and so TanStack table in the context of React has a hook called use React table, which we'll get into, but it starts off with by you create it's called a well, I called it pull request table column helper. That's what we named it on the stream when I did it with Kevin from TanStack Table. But essentially, create column helper is a generic function, and you pass it the type of your payload coming back. Oh, hey, how's it going, Learner0418? Good to see you, my man. Okay, I didn't realize you were in India, so it's a little later for you. I appreciate you tune in there. Also, thanks for the raid, Jen Juno. I didn't know you were. I missed the raid. Sorry. I have Twitch chat open on the side there, but I didn't see the raid. So thank you, Jen. Also, a long time no see, say hi or whatever. Hope the new job's going well. And how's it going, Nixia? 618. Good to see you. So essentially, what this does is it's a generic type. So you pass in the type of your payload, and then all of a sudden you get type sense. So like for example, sorry, IntelliSense here and strong type safety. So accessor is like for each column. Oh, appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words, Learner0418. So because I've passed in my type of my payload, that means that all these, like if we come to the type, which is in here, uh, this type here where we have like all of these things here, all these properties like PR number, PR state, etc. Those are what are available here now. So like if I undo this, where was I? Ah, where did I go? Okay, yeah, I don't need that. Okay, yeah, cool. Get rid of that. Let's go back to the columns. So up top here, where was, oh yeah. So we have this function that allows us, that becomes type safe. So now when we access things here, so say I put, say I accidentally typed the name of one of the properties, like PR numbers, it's going to tell me it's wrong. It's going to tell me that it's one of these, that it has to be. So then I come back and I change it and we're all good. And that's out of the box with TanStack Table. And then you have some properties here like the header, and you have a cell property, which is essentially, it can be, uh, you can just say it's a function, which essentially it's kind of like it's basically a React component, the cell. You're passing in a prop essentially. And yeah, take care, learner 0418. Thanks for joining. Um, yeah. So basically, because I have all that now, and if we come over here, let me move this over. You're gonna see here that this cell, so this pull request, for example, so like if all of a sudden I could just add something in here and you'll see it change in the thing. Hey Nick, it's Richard Dale from Nantucket, Massachusetts. I'm currently working on launching an accelerator here, connection with Boston's tech ecosystem. Lots of startups deals. Shoot me a text if something is there. Okay, looks like I just. All right. Cool, Richard. Just I guess drop me a message. Um, cool. All right. It's kind of funny because I can't comment on my LinkedIn live streaming yet for some reason. But anyways, I can see the messages, so I can only respond instead of by talking. It's like a glitch in the platform, I think. Anyways, cool. Yeah, I got lost my train of thought. Yeah, so essentially, you see here now it added this, and so you essentially have your column definitions, uh, and then you don't have to put something here. Like if you don't put a cell, for example, like if I comment this out, what you're gonna see here instead is the PR number. So it should, that's, yeah, exactly. And the PR number is the value coming from here. So out of the box, you get a lot. But in this case, I wanted to customize this. So the cell, I call them cell renderers. I'm not sure if that's what they call it in TanStack or not, but um, let's put that back. And then all of a sudden you have a little more here, so this is what the chore was. I've created a link to the actual, that goes to the repo page, which is something we have in the site. Yeah, exactly. And then I think we might link it to the actual repo. That's to be determined, I guess. And this also goes to the actual pull request. Anyways, I digress. So the thing I'm looking at is I put the hover card back. See, okay, it's working in some cases here, but if I do this, okay, you see it's being covered by there. This one will cover. It's interesting how it's trying to show below now, but let's interesting. It appears to show above, but let me go down below maybe. Why is it always showing above now? Let's see if I shrink it. I don't think that'll change it, but let's see. Let's bring this down. I'm just wondering why all of a sudden it's only doing it from the. Why am I having so much trouble moving a window today? Okay, so now if I hover, let's go up like this. Okay, so now it should kick in down below. Yeah, so it's still getting covered. So I still have that. Oh, hey, how's it going, Monocode Lisa? Just working on a z-index issue here. So essentially we have these static columns, or not static, sticky. So like for example, I can scroll here because there's more data in here, and it goes behind the two sticky ones. Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Nixia. It's not, it's a z-index issue, but it's not doing. You can't do what you're suggesting, because it's in a different context. So like, if we come to where I'm working right now, so essentially the cell that it's in has a z-index of 1, and by default the avatar hover card, it's gonna put it on the body, like the container, but because it's on the body, the z-index of the table cell ends up taking, like, covering it. And the thing is, I can put another z-index here, but it doesn't completely fix the issue, and it has to do with the stacking context. And I basically need to create a new stacking. Well, I made this relative, so this like position relative. This is, we're using Tailwind here. So it's that creates a stacking context, I believe. And then, and also just to give some clarity to what a stacking context is, it's like CSS stacking context. Let's go. Yeah. So essentially, you've got your X and Y, and then there's the Z axis, the 3D part of it. And basically what happens here is like, so when you use a Z index, like here, I'll just read what it says here, or let me just share this in the chat actually. So as soon as you set a position with a value of absolute or relative and a Z index value other than auto, a new stacking context gets created, which is what I've done here. Like if I just did like even Z dash, yeah, Z dash 10. So this has created a new stacking context. An element with a position of value of fixed or sticky. This is what those two cells here are. They're position sticky. That creates a stacking context too. And then an element with a container type value sizer. Okay, we're not using container queries. Forget that. Um, yeah, so basically I'm creating another stacking context. Yeah, so basically here, this is how it should show uh uh Monocode Lisa. So right now I have these sticky columns here. The state and pull request here, and that's achieved by just setting a z index. Oh yeah, sorry, S or ST? You prefer ST? Okay. Um yeah, cool. So yeah, so essentially to make those columns sticky, we set them at position sticky and we give them a z index. Um cool. SD it is then. Cool. So let's go to, I'll show you where the Z index is. So this gets the column pinning styles, which is basically if the column is pinned, which is the first two, it gets a Z index of 1. Otherwise, it gets 0. If it's pinned, it's sticky. Otherwise, it's relative. And honestly, I don't think we even need to set this, but and let's do that. And I think this might work with just auto. Let's just see. Yeah, okay. So that's fine. And then I come here. Oh, interesting. I wonder if I set this to, sounds funny, but if I set this to 0, yeah, okay, that's good still. And then, whoops, I didn't mean to click on the link. I like that name, nickname ST. Okay, cool. Hey, Brandon, what's up? That's not what I meant to do. Okay, yeah, so it's still causing the issue. You can see that you can see it's behind, it's not bleeding behind. It's the other column is still taking precedent. So let's see here. How can I do this? Um, it's almost like I need to set the, actually, I need to set the container above it, actually. Maybe that's what it is. Okay, let's try this. Um, okay, it's saying it doesn't like that. Whatever, TypeScript. Well, but let's leave that. I think this is still fine as auto, but yeah, that's fine. Okay, and this is still working. Oh, you can't see, what can't you see? It's not zoomed in enough, eh, maybe? Here, here, I'll zoom in again. So these are just scrolling here. Seems pretty big to me, but I'm looking at on OBS, which is not the full screen. Oh, the llama's covering it. Okay, okay, okay. I can hide it for 10 seconds there. Um, okay, but I got you. Okay. Uh, that's a good thing to note. That's just happens to be in this particular case. Well, if you look at here, I'll move up here. If I hover over Brandon here, you see this shouldn't be covered by the alpaca now, or maybe part of it is, but basically the hover card is working, but the other cells which are sticky. Okay, you saw it? All right. Alpaca covering stuff up. Okay, just one sec, got a cough. Okay, cool. All right, so okay, I think I might have an idea here. So it gets covered. You can see it's hard to tell because it's white and white. Um, maybe if let me just change the backgrounds to red temporarily. Let's do pinned, not pinned, what am I saying? Red, and then we'll just say white or transparent, that's good. Okay, so it should, background color is pinned red. Yeah, well, okay, so I'm making them red temporarily so you can see, but you see how, if we come up here, let's bring Brandon to the top. So when I hover over, you can see that it's being covered by all of them actually. So what I'm thinking is we have this container ref that I created, and we can do this. It's okay that like because the hover card, um, it should take it out of the flow, but um, I'm thinking what we can do is this dot closest uh table. Would that work? Yeah, maybe. Let's see if that works. Closest contain. Okay, yeah. I'm just violating TypeScript here right now. I'm just gonna say it's gonna find it. So now if I hover over like Brandon again here. Okay. Yeah, it's still behind, but I'm just trying stuff here because worst case maybe we don't need that, but like I'm gonna just say Z-10. So that's the table it should find. What did it not like? Okay, yeah, sure. All right, give this a second. It's well, the thing is I typically try to avoid using Z indexes because a lot of times you don't need to. Like sometimes people do them, but it's like where if you just have stuff in the DOM, like typically the ones that come later can go over the other ones just because of the order. So there's a lot of cases where you don't even need to use Z index, but okay. It's complaining about this now, that's fine. Let me do my update my thing here. Container.ref.current. Let's do this. Current, then we'll say closest, or let's do this. This is probably a terrible way to do it, but I'm just trying something here. This isn't necessarily what it's going to be. There, or document.body. Yeah, no, in this case, I actually need a Z index, just because the tan stack table requires it for, because you can make those columns positions sticky, but you also need to set a Z index on them because otherwise the ones that come after just won't they basically won't go under because like here see they're going under now. If I don't have a Z index, then they're gonna be above that. And what did I break here? Is it just network going bye-bye? Let's see here. Where's workspaces? Where's my PR call? Oh yeah, here. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. Payload. I think it's just running slow. Could be the dev API is choking a bit. Our dev API is a little slower, so. Okay. Where did you go, API? Feel like I'm getting over my cold, but not quite just yet. Okay. I'm not getting. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's see here again now. And if I hover, yeah, it's still still an issue. Oh true. Now I remember it's a 10 stack. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's a 10 stack table SC. Um cool. Yeah. You know what? For now, what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna not worry about this problem, and I'm just gonna make this a link to the actual profile for the time being. So let's discard that. Let's discard that. And what do I have in here? Yeah, we can undo that. basically back to square one. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a link here. So um it makes sense to uh make uh trying to think of adding a prop here to say create with link, or you know what? I'm just gonna put the link around it. Not lunk. Yeah, pop-up dialog. Yeah, there's I have to think about it a bit more because the reason why the hover card typically works is because it's on the body at the bottom. But because we've introduced some Z indexes up there, it's causes issues. I'll figure it out at some point, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much right now. It's not critical that it wasn't actually part of the requirements necessarily because this was a prototype initially. So I'm just gonna go with the link for now, and we'll do this, and we'll do slash users author, and we'll do target. Oh no, stays in place. The yeah, cannot find link. Yeah, yeah. It's I can understand how people get frustrated with CSS, but a lot of it is just sometimes it's just not understanding certain things. Like the whole like people just keep throwing Z index on stuff. That basically shows that there's a problem somewhere that oh, I didn't know you're a fan of CSS. Yeah, so am I. And I definitely don't consider myself an expert. I think I understand it well. But like I leave the title of expert to people like Una Kravitz or like my buddy Jade Tompkins, who's like just blows my mind the stuff that Jade Tompkins does. It's like truly like. Anyways, if you're not following him on X or haven't seen his code pens, go check it out. Like super wild. Okay, so let's come here, and now I got a link, which is fine. And that should go to their profile. Let's go see. Oh, I think I got that wrong. What's the profile link? User, not users. Cool. That's good. And let's put title user profile for. Let's make this a template string. And you know what? Actually, yeah, that should be good. So now if we hover over, hello, cool. Does it show up? Title. Yeah, there we go. Cool, that works. All right, so let's just do that. Let's merge that. Git add, git CI, or pretty. Uh, let's shrink this over here. This is just the dev server running. Don't need that. So let's do git chore made the avatar a link to the user's profile. All right, let's push that. Cool, cool. Yeah, overriding something's different too. Yeah. Yeah, it's same thing with like using important and stuff. Like there are some cases that you do need to use it. And actually like there was one scenario I can think of, which is like I used to work on a password browser extension at McAfee. And so like, you know, like when you use one password or something, you see the icons come in and stuff, or there's certain styling for the password manager. And you kind of had to use bad practices sometimes um, to add the style. Uh, but it was a good practice in the sense that like your style had to win no matter what. So like that's how you're able to, and you see them glitch sometimes. Um, but usually like 1Password or LastPass or uh, TrueKey, which was the one I worked on, they generally style fine, but there are some edge cases where it doesn't style properly. Or, and side note, but if you're basically creating a login page, make sure you always have an input with a username field and a password of password field, type password field. Okay. Right, so this is all good. I have these buttons here to basically just filter on the date. I'm gonna copy that over to the other dates. So let me just hide this so we get some real estate. Put this over here. I wonder, you're making me think about the alpaca now, um, ST. If ever somebody says, "Hey, I can't see it because the alpaca," I wonder, I should have a Twitch command that just, because I'm using Twitch commands to use web dev stuff to just hide and show it. I'm wondering if instead of saying hide, I could just say like hide for a while or something. Hey Joe, can you tell me how to write J plus OE? Joe Mama. Okay. Thanks, Mr. Coco Man. All right. Cool, cool. We're throwing the jokes out here. That's all good. That's all good. Keep it clean though. Um, thanks for joining, Mr. Coco Man. Yeah, yeah, -1. Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the Z index -1, I can't remember if you were already on the stream, but I tried going the -1 route instead, and that didn't work either. I thought that would have, by having, but it seems to go behind the table, I think. Because like if we come back here just for 1 second, workspaces, pull request table, Z index. Uh, yeah, so exactly. So like originally I was like, well, why don't I just do 0, -1 maybe? And then you're gonna see these columns disappear. So that was kind of like my first attempt, me thinking I'm being smart, but narrator, he was not. Um, but I think it's an interesting problem, this particular one with the hover card and the Z index in the table cell. But anyways, for another day. Oh yeah, so what was I doing? The updated at. So okay, yeah, so we have this here. So we have this thing called sorted column info. It's just a component I made, and this is on the headers. So basically, I'm doing the same thing here, and then this one's just gonna be, whoops, not that one, sorry. Where is it? Yeah, get time, not cell, created at. Yeah, exactly. Here, and that should be created at, and then that should be info. So the header and the cell, they can be just static text, or like if you don't specify them, they just give the default values of the cell would be the value of this particular property or field, I should say, and then the header would just take that name by default. But you can also use them as React components since I'm working on React. In other ones, it might vary, but anyways. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, so we basically just want this again for close that and there, and then merge that. And probably pop off soon, but essentially here I want to be able to, if I zoom, this is it zoomed out, so it looks better. I'm just always zoomed in for the stream, so um but essentially I want to be able to sort these based on this. The When you do set it, it's gonna set the query string to say, like, for example, uh, order by PR underscore updated underscore at field. And then the order, if it's pointing up, will be ascending, just capital ASC is what we send, or or uppercase DESC for descending. So I'm gonna pop that in, and Probably gonna wrap up soon here. Cool, cool. By the way, how's your day going, SC? I can't remember. Well, actually, I honestly don't know what time zone you're in. I don't know if it's like breakfast for you, lunchtime. Yeah, if there's a lot of data, from what I've seen so far, like I literally only started using this last week, but I used to work in fintech at a startup, and we were using something called AG Grid, and essentially was like WebSocket data, and like we're talking like financial data coming in and like tons of information. And AG Grid was like probably the best option at the time. And funnily enough, uh, AG Grid and TanStack kind of do some work together now, I think. Uh, you know AG Grid too. Yeah, yeah. The last time I used it was 2016, and they had the concept of the cell renderers and stuff too. And from what Kevin, who's on the TanStack table team, like I was mentioning at the beginning there, he was saying they don't share code, but I think they share ideas and stuff. And I don't know if Tanner got the idea of the cell renderer from AG Grid, because I remember that for a long time. And AG Grid was massive. Like I don't know how big it is now, but I remember when we were using it in a project, it was like 2 MB or something. Like because we had the paid version too, so you got some other features like pivot tables and stuff. And anyways, um, but yeah. So essentially, yeah, I'm gonna wire this up so it alters the query string. The thing to do though is like because we can do this here right now. So like if we do sorted column, I wrote this the other day, and I tried this out briefly the other day, but so basically I have this button here, and then so set is ascending sharp. That's just what makes the button flip right now. But there's what is it? Update query param or set query params. Yeah, this is just a function that my old coworker wrote, and essentially, yeah. So sort column info definition accessor. Does that sound right? Column info dot. That's true. I don't even need to specify the name. That's right. Let's see. What is it? Column info dot column dot ID, is it? Which would be ID. Yeah. Okay. That should be right. And these need to be uppercase and lowercase. And I can't zoom in the bar here. Yeah, I think it's still pretty big, but the thing is, like, people are concerned about bundle sizes for valid reasons, but in these kinds of things, these were like these big fintech applications that just kept running and running. Like, it wasn't like you were like reloading a web page all the time and stuff. So, all right, so I'm gonna click this, and you're gonna see sort. Okay, not it shouldn't be sort. Sorry, this should be order direction, and this should be order by. All right, cool. And we should probably set some type safety to that. But anyways, let's do this. Let's start over again. So let's go to activity. And so now if I say updated at, you're gonna see here, this is what it put in. Uh, so you can see it added the order by PR updated at, and then it added the order direction descending. So that is doing what I'm expecting it to do. Now, there's some slowness here in the API that I gotta look into. Yeah, the thing, it's funny, like, at least I can't speak for the Angular world, but in React land, a lot of people just went all in on component state. And there's a lot of things that don't need to be in component state. Like the query string has been something I call it like the OG like state management because like you can literally store stuff in there. Um, there's certain stuff like I wouldn't maybe store like whether whether a panel's open or not, like that makes sense in component state. But like for stuff like this where I'm saying like I need to change the ordering of the thing, I think it makes sense. And the other thing too is you can bookmark this and share that, so that there's that as well. Um, I think did I get a bad request, I think? Let's load this again. Yeah, okay, I'm getting a bad request, so there's something I gotta check out, but I think that's a good point to to shut it down for today. I gotta head to the doctor to just see get rid of this head cold or whatever. But thanks for hanging in, ST and everybody, and we'll see you in the next one. I'll probably be streaming tomorrow morning like I normally do, so a little earlier for you, ST. Take care, everybody.